Here at the Global Insurance Forum in New York, there was a lot of discussion about disruptors, trends that are having a significant impact on the insurance business model. We spoke with Stephen O'Hearn about the impact of these disruptors on the future of the industry. He is currently European Insurance Leader at PwC and will assume the role of Global Insurance Leader in July 2015. Here's what he had to say.
The best way to reflect on some of the disruption in the industry is to refer to the survey that PwC does every year and we release in Davos. This year, 1,200 CEOs from around the world, 90 of which were in the insurance industry. The results of the survey showed that no industry was undergoing more upheaval than the insurance industry. Not only more upheaval in aggregate, but on each of the disruptive attributes surveyed, the insurance industry was at the high end of the spectrum. New entrants, increased regulation, customer expectations, core systems, etc. You take all that disruption and some see it as a significant opportunity, some see it as a significant threat, most see it as both. 60% of the CEOs said they saw more opportunity than they saw 3 years ago. 60% said more threats. That's a great environment. That's a great environment in which to compete in. That's a great environment for which insurers can differentiate themselves. We did an assessment of the market in 2010 and predicted where the industry would be in 2020. Now, halfway through the decade, we've refreshed those projections. Broadly, what we've seen is while the direction of travel is very much consistent with what we expected, the pace of change has far exceeded our expectations, and it's been exceeded on a number of fronts. Customer expectations. Customers expect insurers to act like retailers, online, real-time, accessible, multi-channel accessibility. Digitization, where insurers have the opportunity to really tailor their customer profile. And in the case of general insurance, P&C insurance, the digitization actually facilitates the claim process. Google Glasses, for example, in the motor claims process. And data analytics. Data analytics allows the insurer to really refine their underwriting process and to transition from being a reactive claims payer to be a preventative risk advisor. Sensors, for example, that alert the insurer to a problem long before it really becomes a problem. I think the unintended consequences of data analytics is that there is the risk, maybe it's minimal, but there's the potential for the risk process, the risk assessment process, to become so refined and so precise that those who need insurance the most can't get it. And in the survey I referred to earlier, 91% of the CEOs in the insurance industry saw overregulation as a threat to their growth. We need to find that balance between protecting consumers on one hand and allowing the industry to compete on the other. You ask about the attractiveness of the industry to millennials and to women, and I think you need to take those separately. Insurance has never been perceived to be a particularly sexy business. We've talked for years about attracting more young people into this business. I really believe that some of the disruption that we've talked about, technological change, customer expectations, digitization, has the ability to attract more millennials into this industry, more young people into this industry than we've ever seen. I think the woman challenge is an entirely different problem, and I think we need a much greater commitment to elevating women into meaningful positions. The advantages of diversity of thought and diversity of perspective are clear, and in a fast-moving industry like we now are, having those varying perspectives is absolutely critical. And I really think that we talk a lot about elevating women into meaningful positions. I think we need to do more to create an environment where women thrive. The growth opportunity in the developed world is all around seniors. I mean, the number of people over 60 will double between 2010 and 2030. They have significant retirement needs, they have significant healthcare needs, and the opportunities in the mature markets are to cater to those needs. In the general insurance world, there's a number of emerging risks. I think cyber is a risk, for example, that the insurance industry can very much take on. I think there are parts of the global economy that are underinsured, like energy, for example. That's the mature world. In the developing world, I think the opportunities are plentiful. I think Southeast Asia is hot right now. Latin America creates great opportunities. Those economies are a little bit bumpier, but real long-term potential. And Africa is really an opportunity. And what's interesting about those developing markets, Africa in particular, is that generations of distribution are going to be skipped. None of the many layers of distribution that we've gone through in the Western world are going to be necessary in Africa, straight to cell phones, for example.
For more of our coverage of the Global Insurance Forum from New York, visit the RIN TV On Demand Library.